Welcome into the In the Money podcast for Saturday, December 23rd. Tom Leach along with Jim Goodman, the Director of Mutuals and Simulcasting at Keeneland. We're going to take a look at the late pick four, which includes a couple of stakes at Aqueduct. Give you a chance maybe for a little Christmas bonus before the holidays. And if you were listening last week and you played Jim's picks, you already have that bonus. Well done. You gave out the pick four and directed them to the pick five as well.
Yeah, I did. And I had a couple scratches in there. So that $200 ticket that we gave out on pick five wound up only costing about $120. So it was a beautiful day at Gulfstream, and it was pick four paid $750. So I hope some people had that on Keeneland Select. It was a 3 to 5 single on the first leg, so it got some nice prices. Hopefully we'll do that again at New York today.
Well, let's give it a shot. We're going to do the two stakes races first, and then we'll double back and pick up the pick four, which will start in the 6th. But we're going to the 7th race, the Graves End, and it's 3-year-olds and up, going 6 furlongs. And I thought a pretty well-matched group. Where did you land here?
I think they are, but I don't know that you're going to get a price here. It's an 8-horse field, and I can make a case for probably 4 of them. I settled on 3-5 India for Chad Brown off that last race and off 2 races back in the Grade 2 Phoenix here at Keeneland. He ran against Whitmore, Austin Banner, and Limousine Liberal in that race. Only got beat by 3/4 of a length after actually having a little trouble in the stretch. So Castellano rides him back. And so I think that the fall weight handicap set him up very well for this. He got beat by 1 3/4 to Stall Walking Dude, who just ran down the whole field like he always does. So I think 3-5 India is a good choice in here, but I'm also going to use Life in Shambles, the 3, who ran right behind 3-5 India in the same race coming back. So he's on the 5th race of his cycle. I don't think he's over the top yet. I think he might get a little bit better. He ran a 98 buyer last time out. I read Ortiz takes him back for Asmussen. So Asmussen's been really cold at Aqueduct. As we're looking at the PP, he's only 2 for 35. So he's either cold or he's due. I don't know which one. So Life in Shambles, though, looks like he has a shot in here. So I can't use 3-5 India without using Life in Shambles. I would have an exacta box for those 2. And then I would throw in Green Grotto from the outside. I don't think he's going to get a clear lead from out there. He's very dangerous if he does, but it's been a long time since he's won. He won the Carter Handicap at Aqueduct in May, but since then he's not been able to get a real easy lead. I don't think he's going to get that here because he's outside. If he's on a 2-hole, I might give him a shot, but I think Chief Lion's going to go with him. I don't think 3-5 India is going to be that far back. So I'm going to go with 3-7 exacta box and use 3-5 India on top. 3-7 exacta box. I'm sorry, not 3-5. 3-7 exacta box.
I like those 2 as well, and I'm shopping for a little value here, so I'm going to try to take a reach. Those are the two of the ones I'm going to play with that one. The horse I'm looking for is Great Stuff, the 6. Peak form. Had a little trouble last time, and I just think there's some value there. You get Rosario in the saddle. So I'm going to take Great Stuff for a win pick here. But when we get to the pick 4, I'm going to use the 2 you mentioned, 3-5 India, Life in Shambles. Also, I'm going to throw in Do Share, the 2. So I'm going to use 6, 7, 3, and 2. And a 4-horse box of those for this race might not be a bad play in here. Let's move on to the 8th race, the Queens County, at 1 1/8 for 3-year-olds and up. And I went to Alex the Terror, the 8. This horse had a big improvement in his first start for Pletcher, and he was claimed by Pletcher 2 starts back. Todd Pletcher doesn't claim many, and I've seen him occasionally, and it's for usually one of his main clients, Mike Rapoli, and that's who the claim is for here. And I've seen him do this before where they'll claim one that they think has some upside, and you'll see this horse jump up and win some stakes. And I think they got a shot to do that here with Alex the Terror, who is also 4 for 5 at Aqueduct. So all of those reasons, I'm going to take Alex the Terror. Kurilov for Chad Brown, the 9. Watershed for Kira McLaughlin, the 3. If you went one more, I might throw in Discreet Lover, the 1. But I think Alex the Terror is definitely the one for me in the Queens County. How about you?
I like the same 3 horses that you like, but I've got there's a caveat on each one of them. Alex the Terror, the 8, loves Aqueduct, but this is a first stretch out. He's never been this distance. He's stretching out from 1 mile to 1.8 miles, so there's a big question mark there. He might love it, but he hasn't done it before. Watershed, the 3 horse, is 2 for 5 at the distance, but lost to Discreet Lover, the 1 horse, last time out. And Discreet Lover is 0 for 9 at the distance, so I can't use him. Then I looked at Kurloff, Kurloff, the 9 for Chad Brown, second-time starter from Chile. Don't know that he was that good on the first start. He got the lead and faded. He may be better on his second start. I could use him. Wound up settling on a 3-year-old, Senior Investment, the 4-horse for Kenny McPeak. He thought a lot of this horse, and he ran really well in the Preakness after he won the Lexington here. He hasn't done that well. He didn't do well at Belmont at all, but he's come back with a race at Woodbine on the Poly, and then came back at a mile and an eighth at Aqueduct in the Discovery and ran behind Control Group. I think it sets him up very well here. Third race of the form cycle. Might get a little price on him against older. Obviously, that's not great, but the 3-year-old this time of year is almost 4. So I think Franco and McPeak. I'm going to go for a price here in the 8th with Queens County with Senior Investment, the 4 on top of the 389.
Well, let's go back to the 6th race, and we'll come up with a pick 4 ticket. The 6th race is a state-bred maiden event at 6 furlongs, and then the last race that will wrap up the pick 4, the 9th, is a maiden claimer. So start in the 6th. Jim, give us your pick 4.
It's called a handicapping challenge, Mr. Leach. So the 6th race, I think there is some obviously form to look at with Flash Drive, the 6 for Paco Lopez, and he's got him to the lead the last couple of times. Hadn't held on, but has run well, and I think is going to be right in the mix here. Cannot single Flash Drive, however. I like, because of the name, I like a horse named Bourbon Did It, Kentucky name, and Jason Service, even if it wasn't just a name, Jason Service is 20% first-time starters. He's 7 for 23 at a 30% clip at this meet for Aqueduct, so I think Jason's got his barn going the right direction. This horse has got some nice works and may have a shot. We also use the 2 equal the score. Robertino Diodoro is also 28% for the meet, and this horse, he's 24% first time off the claim, so that's a couple of stats in his favor. Also got to throw in the 12, Nolinsky, first blinkers for Jeremiah Englehart is 26% angle. So 1, 2, 6, 12 in the first leg. I'm going to use the 3, 7 in the seventh race that we talked about with Life in Shambles and 3, 5 India. So 1, 2, 6, 12 by 3, 7. And then 3, 4, 8, 9 in the 8th race, and that is Watershed, Senior Investment, Alex the Terror, and Kurloff. And then the last leg, this was tough. If I had a single earlier, I could go really deep here, but I settled on 3 horses that are dropping and seem to fit here. These horses have all been out for a long time, and they don't have a lot of wins between them, and they're dropping for 12-5. Stuck on My One Love. The 10 horse drops from allowance races back to 12-5, and last time he ran at Parks, he ran okay at 16. Head Shrinker, the 9, also drops hugely to 12.5. And the other horse that I was going to use in here is the 7 Loyal Heart, who's been competitive at this level in the past. Last time he ran 16,000 at Belmont, he only got beat by a length. So horses that are proven that they're competitive at this level, the rest of them are all question marks. So I'm going to go with 7, 9, 10 there. So my pick 4 is 1, 2, 6, 12 with 3, 7 with 3, 4, 8, 9 with 7, 9, 10, $48.
I'm going to start with a 1, 2, 6 in the 6th race, and I'll feel good about having the winner with those 3. Second leg in the Gravesend, I'm going to use all 4 that I mentioned. Great Stuff, 3, 5 India, Life in Shambles, and Do Share. So that's 6, 7, 3, 2. I'm going to single Alex the Terror. And I'll give you another way to potentially play this as well. And then in the last race, I'm going to approach this. When I find these races sometimes, I just kind of think of it in terms of I'm going to let the jock agents handicap for me. They're supposed to be good at their jobs, and they put their guys on the right horses. So I'm going to take there's a group of riders in here that have won several races or consistent winners, and then there are others who have very poor win records. So I'm going to take the guys that have good records. That's Soxy Ruby the 3 with Franco, Kentucky Dancer the 4 with Carmouche, the 6 Josephine's Moment, I think it is, with Lopez. The 9 Head Shrinker, Diaz, an apprentice, has 6 wins at the meet. The 10 has Arroyo. And then I'm also going to add the 5 Causeway Cutie DeCarlo, I think, is a good rider. Doesn't have a lot of wins at the meet, but this horse improved last time out, so I'm going to add that one as well. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, 10, 6 horses. So I'm 3 by 4 by 1 by 6 for $36. Now, if you want to add Cure Love and Watershed in the middle leg, or in that third leg, then you could trim down in the seventh race and just take leave out the 2. So that would be 3 by 3 by 3 by 6. That's getting a little pricey, so that's what I wanted to hold it down. So that's why I singled the 8 Alex the Terror in here. Going to take a stand there so I can go deeper in that last race and in the 7th. Best of luck with your wagers. Hopefully you can rack up some money to add to the Christmas stocking, and then we'll be back next week for the final edition of the In the Money podcast for 2017. Don't forget, Santa Anita opens up the day after Christmas, right, Jim, with some good racing.
That's correct. On 26th, a lot of stakes races, opening day at Santa Anita, and a lot of great racing on the 26th. It's the day after Christmas, and if you don't want to go to the mall and return your gifts, go to the simulcast facility near you or play on Keeneland Select, obviously.
Yeah, and at the mall, if you stand in line, you might get your money back. Here, you can win some if you stand in line.
yeah, right. That's the way to look at it.
There you go. Merry Christmas to everybody from the In the Money podcast at KeenelandSelect.com.